SportsBeat is brought to you by Ken Garth. We hear you.
Mitchell with a mismatch here. Clear it out. Mitchell. Oh, he punches it home. Ingles to Mitchell. Good eye contact in the hammer. Mitchell for three.
Nice ball movement again. Conley, wide open three. There's Joe on a high floater.
Hey, we were talking last game.
Rudy won it to the rim. Oh, baby. He's not down two. Watch out. Showtime it. Donovan. Hammer.
What a week for the Utah Jazz. SportsBeat is live. JJ and Sam with you for the next 45 minutes. 4 NBA playoff games, including a special moment by a special 21-year-old in Dallas. We also have the best of week 2 of the Utah high school football season.
And we will be checking in on the Byu Cougars just 2 weeks now from kicking the season off at Navy.
But you know where we're going to start, right? Jazz and Nuggets, game 4. The Jazz absolutely shredding the Nuggets defense in games 2 and 3. Did they crush their will to compete? Or would the Nuggets turn things around in Game 4?
Yeah, the Nuggets made a change in their starting lineup, sending Michael Porter Jr. and Torrey Craig to the bench while starting Monte Morris and Jeremy Grant to give their defense a bit of a boost. Would that make a difference, though?
It did a little bit. The Nuggets feeling the pressure. They couldn't afford to fall behind 3-1. They came out more aggressive. You don't see Nikola Jokic doing this very often. The Jazz would weather the storm, though. Rudy cleaning things up at the rim. And Donovan Mitchell had 13 points in the first quarter, 5 of 6 from the field. He also dished out 2 assists, this one to Rudy, and they trailed 36-33 after 1.
Well, the Jazz bench has been critical in the wins in this series. Specifically, Jordan Clarkson brings an instant offensive spark when he's on the floor. And the Jazz trailed by 8 early in the second. That's when Clarkson went to work, hit the jumper to cut it to 6. Then that step back 3. The Jazz are down 3. Next time down the floor, Clarkson with 2 more. He scored 7 straight points for the Jazz. Fast forward a bit now in the second. Former Jazzman Paul Millsap slinging the rock. 3-pointer for a 5-point Nuggets lead. Cue Donovan again. 3-pointer here, cuts the Denver lead to 2. He had 22 in the first half. Mike Conley kept it close, 3 with 31 seconds left, and the Jazz were down by 1 at the break.
Donovan's hot streak continues in the third quarter. He had that step back 3 going. And that really opened things up for his drives to the rim. 11 third quarter points for Donovan. It started rubbing off on the rest of the team. Mike Conley started feeling it. He had 8 in the third. And the Jazz go on a big third quarter run. Donovan as the facilitator, the lob to Rudy, the kick out to Jordan Clarkson. He had 24 off the bench, and the Jazz lead grows into the fourth quarter. Conley again, great ball movement. This gives the Jazz their largest lead, 11, and Donovan had 7 assists in this game. Rudy finished with 17 and 11, but the Nuggets had a big night from their star guard.
Yeah, they did. Jamal Murray was a thorn in the Jazz foot tonight. After successfully shutting him down in games 2 and 3, the Jazz couldn't stop him in game 4. Murray made 18 of 31 shots from the field. He scored in a variety of ways, had no problem getting to the rim. He was able to get the mid-range jumper to drop as well on multiple occasions, but he was absolutely lights out from 3-point range. 9 for 15 on 3-pointers. Murray nearly single-handedly evened the series up. He scored a career-high 50 points.
Somehow the Jazz were able to overcome 50 from Jamal Murray. It helps when you get 51 from Donovan Mitchell. Jazz up 1 when Paul Millsap blocks Donovan's layup attempt and stares him down. Paul's a veteran. He should know better than to poke the bear.
There's Millsap again. Out on Mitchell. He'll take the 3 ball. Rips it. Wow.
I think that was a message. You think that was a message to Paul Millsap?
Everybody's whispering, don't take it personal.
Donovan wants this blank? There was no doubt after that shot. The Jazz win Game 4 to take a 3-1 lead. The Jazz are 9-0 all-time when leading a best-of-7 series 3-1. Donovan with 51. He joins Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson as the only 2 players in NBA history with 2 or more 50-plus point games in NBA playoff series. Game 5 Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
I love hearing negative things about me. And, you know, as you know, Tony, the knock on me has been, inefficient, not a team player, whatever it is. And I pride myself on being a team player. I pride myself on being a playmaker. I said it 1,000 times, and I'm going to continue to do that. So just for me, just continue to put the work in. Obviously, 50 is what it is, but I'm more happy that I got 7 assists. Finding my teammates making the right reads. That's really where I pride myself. And
What a night. What a week for Donovan Mitchell. We'll have more on the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell coming up later in the show. Right now, more NBA. There are some great young players in the league. Luka Doncic may be the best of them. Just 21 years old, he's established himself as a superstar. After today, that legend will just continue to grow. Luka wasn't expected to play after spraining his ankle. But not only did he play in Game 4, he was spectacular. The Mavericks trailed the Clippers by 21 in the first half, but Luka led a rally. They cut the lead to 8 by halftime. By midway through the third, the Mavs had the lead. Luka with 13 assists. So crafty with the ball. Drawing the foul in the and one. He was 4 of 10 from 3 as well. This is just nasty. From 28 feet? Nothing but net, down 5 with 2 minutes left. The Clippers closed the gap. Kawhi Leonard had 32, and with the game tied at 121, Kawhi had the last shot in regulation, but unlike against last year against the Sixers, he misses, so we go to overtime. Now down 2, Marcus Morris hits a 3 to give the Clippers a 1-point lead, but that just gives Luka enough time to make some magic happen at the buzzer.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists. Luka is the third player in NBA postseason history with a 40-point, 15-rebound, 10-assist game, joining Charles Barkley and Oscar Robertson. That's good company. The Clips and Mavs are even at 2 games apiece. Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse wins the NBA Coach of the Year award. Well justified there. He just led the Raptors to a sweep of the Brooklyn Nets. The bigger story for the Raptors, though, is the injury to all-star point guard Kyle Lowry. He turned his ankle in the first quarter. He had to leave the game, did not return. Not sure how much time he'll miss in the next round, but the Raptors are fine without him in Game 4. The bench steps up. Terrence Davis threw one down, and then, wow, Norman Powell packing it over and over again on that Nets defense, if you want to call it that. 29 points on 9 of 14 shooting. He made 5 of 9 from 3. The defending champs drop 150 on the Nets and complete the first playoff sweep in franchise history. And what is wrong with the Sixers? A team 1 play away from the Eastern Conference Finals last year was just swept in the first round by the Celtics. Tobias Harris took a hard fall and hit his head on the court. The good news, he walked off on his own power. The Celtics use a 32-point third quarter to pull away. Jason Tatum, 28, Kemba Walker, 32, and the Celtics move on to face the Raptors.
What a day in the NBA. All right. Does anyone have $4 million handy? That's almost how much one bidder spent on a one-of-a-kind Mike Trout rookie card today. It sold at an online auction for $3.936 million, the most of any sports card ever. Well, Marlins outfielder Lewis Brinson, he was doing a pretty good Mike Trout impersonation in the outfield today. It's our play of the day. With the runner on base, Juan Soto gave it a ride to center, but look at Brinson rising up and bringing the ball back. The Nats still poured it on, though, and they won the game 9-3. Also this afternoon, the Padres going for a 7th straight win with the game tied at 3 in the 8th. Oh, look at Fernando Tatis Jr. Saves some runs, tracks it down in shallow left for the nice grab. The Padres break the tie in that same inning. Manny Machado, a 2-run homer. Hey, I thought he wasn't supposed to do that unless the bases were loaded, right? Padres still get the win, 5-3, their best win streak in a long time.
Long time since we've had Padres highlights on the show.
Yeah.
Not a Major League Baseball, as we've already been there, and there's unwritten rules, Sam, in baseball. We can argue whether or not that's good for the game.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the unwritten rules apparently is you don't swing at the 3-0 pitch when the bases are loaded and you've got a big lead.
You know who doesn't care, though? Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres found himself in this situation against the Texas Rangers on Monday night. He said, to heck with your unwritten rules, and he crushed this 3-0 pitch into the empty stands at Globe Life Field for a grand slam. He gave the Padres a 14-3 lead. Well, Tatis's own manager, Jace Tingler, gave him the sign to take the pitch and not swing. He was ignored and wasn't happy after the game, so you can imagine what Rangers manager Chris Woodward thought of it.
Yeah, I didn't like it, personally. You know, when you're up by 7 in the 8th inning, it's typically not a good time to swing 3-0. That's kind of, you know, the way we were all kind of raised in the game, but, you know, like I said, the norms are being challenged on a daily basis, so just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not right, but I don't think we liked it as a group.
Sorry, not sorry. The Padres don't give a flip unless we're talking about bat flips, right? On Tuesday, Will Myers made it back-to-back games with a Padres grand slam, lifting the 2-2 pitch up and out in the first inning.
On Wednesday, the Padres added a little flavor to their slams when Manny Machado made it a walk-off granny. That's right, 3 days in a row.
JJ, let's make it 4 in a row. On Thursday, Eric Hosmer helps the Padres make big league history, lines one just over the wall and right in the 5th inning against the Rangers, the 4th straight game with a grand slam, a new major league record.
You get a grand slam, and you get a grand slam. They didn't make it 5 in a row, but Saturday, rookie Jake Cronenworth, his first career grand slam. That's 6 days, 5 grand slams against the Rangers and the Astros. Slam Diego is now legally the capital of Texas.
Well, there's only one college football team in the state getting ready for a season this fall. Shoot, there's only one college football team in the western United States getting ready for some football, and that is the Byu Cougars. And they're still figuring out who they're going to be playing this season. The Cougars officially announcing on Friday the addition of another opponent to the 2020 schedule. BYU will be playing on Halloween night against Western Kentucky, a member of the Conference USA. The Hilltoppers finished with a 9-4 overall record last season, second in the East Division. There are reports that there are games against Texas San Antonio and Texas State that will be added to BYU's schedule in October as well. Kalani Sitake told us this week that while Tom Holmoe continues to work on that schedule, he continues to work on the Cougars' Week 1 opponent, the Navy Midshipmen. BYU held its final scrimmage of fall camp on Thursday. These scrimmages have been closed to the media and fans due to the pandemic, so Coach Sitake, he's been able to keep his depth chart close to the vest.
If you're looking at defense and offense, there's going to be a lot of different guys that could potentially start and guys that will have a lot of reps in different packages and different schemes. So it may look a little different than what we saw in spring and what we saw from last year, but we'll see.
Up next, more from Game 4.
And in honor of Donovan Mitchell's 57 in Game 1, what are the top 5 playoff performances in Utah Jazz history?
Boozer off the head fake.
Was it the mailman, John Stockton, or Spider Mitchell that get the #1 nod? We'll count them down next.
And Week 2 of the high school football season has come and gone. We update our Game Night Live Top 20 Power Rankings. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. More SportsBeat.
SportsBeat is brought to you by Ken Garth. We hear you.
Donovan Mitchell made his first All-Star game this season. That was a big achievement for him. Now in the playoffs, Donovan has been more than an All-Star. He's a superstar, playing at an MVP level. 57 in Game 1, 51 in Game 4. Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Donovan Mitchell, the only 3 players in NBA history with 2 or more 50-plus games in a playoff series. That's correct. And it's not like Donovan was just jacking up jumpers. He displayed his complete game in Game 4. He was more than just a scorer. He was a creator. 7 assists. He was clutch, making key plays and key free throws down the stretch. He's doing whatever it takes to help his team win. Now he and the Jazz are 1 win away from the Western Conference semifinals.
We've been here before. We got to find ways to get to the second round and then it's conference finals and the championship. That's the ultimate goal. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, we want to win the championship. That's where we pride ourselves. And, people are going to say whatever they're going to say. I've gotten to that point, but can't please everybody. So for me, it's just like, how can I help my team win? Tonight it was scoring 50. Some nights it's not.
Mitchell unstoppable.
Oh, he punches it home. Step back 3. Heat check. And he's sizzling right now. Stopped on a dime. No change for Murray.
How about that?
Red hot Donovan Mitchell.
It ain't nothing personal.
Nuggets had no answer. 57 points. Yes, 57 points.
Donovan hammer.
You heard him just say it. He's been there before. Donovan Mitchell's been to the playoffs in all 3 of his NBA seasons. and he just keeps getting better and better and better. His first playoff game of the 2020 season went down as one of the greatest postseason performances in NBA history. Donovan made 6 3-pointers, was 19 for 33 shooting, a perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line, for 57 points. His 57-point performance was not only a new Jazz playoff record, but listen to this, only Michael Jordan's 63 and Elgin Baylor's 61 were more in an NBA playoff game. He also had a team-high 9 rebounds and 7 assists. And oh yeah, remember, he's only 23 years old. Now, the record Donovan beat used to belong to the mailman. Let's take a dive into the archive for this one. April 22nd, 2000, making 18 of 32 shots, Karl Malone scored 50 points, leading the Utah Jazz to a home court victory over the Seattle Supersonics in Game 1 of their opening round playoff series. Donovan's 57-point game wasn't a one-hit wonder this week. Still looking for a win in this series. Donovan rose to the occasion again in Game 2. He had just 6 points by halftime. Then the window of opportunity opened in the third quarter, and Donovan took over, scoring 21 of his 30 points in that quarter, leading the Jazz to a 19-point win and tying up that series.
All right, Donovan's 57 points in Game 1 inspired this week's SportsBeat Top 5. What are the top 5 individual playoff performances in Utah Jazz history?
Well, with so many playoff appearances, we had so many great games to choose from. It was pretty tough to vote on this week.
Carlos Boozer makes the top 5. Yes, Carlos Boozer. Remember the Jazz Game 7 upset in Houston in the first round of the 2007 NBA playoffs? Well, Booz had 35 points on 13 of 23 shooting, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. He was clutch in Clutch City.
Number 4, Karl Malone became the oldest player to score 50 in that playoff game. We just talked about it. He was 36 years old when he did it, though. He also had 12 rebounds, 13 of 14 free throws, just 1 turnover. Jazz won the series in 5 games, the last playoff series win of the Stockton to Malone era in Utah.
Step downhill, spin to the paint, tough shot.
Before his 57-point game, Donovan was already on this list, in our opinion. Just a rookie, he had 38 points on 14 of 26 shooting, 5 of 8 from 3. Despite Russell Westbrook's 45, it was Donovan and the Jazz who celebrated a series-closing win on their home floor after Game 6.
Stockton gives it to Malone. Oh, that was beautiful.
Number 2 in a must-win situation in the NBA Finals. Malone silenced some of his critics with a chance for the Bulls to win on the title on their home floor. The mailman scored 39 points, had 9 rebounds. The Jazz won at the United Center by 3 points, which brought the NBA Finals back to Salt Lake City.
Stockton, open 3.
Yeah, John Stockton didn't put up 40-plus points against Houston in Game 6 of the 1997 Western Conference Finals, but he did have 25 points, 13 assists, and 2 steals. And, oh yeah, the buzzer beater that sent the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals. Next, week 2 of the high school football season.
Dominant performances, rivalries renewed, and some down-to-the-wire finishes. We've got a little bit of everything. We'll revisit this second week with the highlight reel and more coming up. Here we are, the third week of August. We're already 2 weeks into the high school football season, and what a week it was, starting with a thriller in Cache Valley between Green Canyon and Box Elder.
Yeah, Green Canyon coming off an impressive 42-13 Week 1 win against Tooele. Meanwhile, Box Elder still looking for its first win after losing to Kearns in Week 1. And this game did not disappoint. Green Canyon taking the home field for the first time in 2020, but the Bees were an unwelcome visitor. Quarterback Parker Buchanan scrambling and dives for the pylon for 6. Box Elder would go for 2 and converts, take an 8-0 lead. Green Canyon wouldn't take long to answer. Jake London with the toughest 1-yard you'll ever see. Wolves missed the PAT and trailed just 8-6. Just 2 minutes later, Buchanan with a strike to Braylon Majors. What a catch on the 30-yard score. And Box Elder finds the end zone. This is London for Green Canyon. Final seconds of the first quarter, he scores. He was impressive on defense, too. He's got an interception to lead to a field goal and a 16-15 lead for the Wolves, but that wouldn't last long. Box Elder would come right back. They're going to score just 29 seconds left in the first half, and they score on a 53-yard completion. It's 22-17 Box Elder. In the third, Bees add to it. Jaron Weaver fights his way into the end zone. 29-16, Box Elder has the lead, but Green Canyon gets rolling in the fourth. McCade Hellstern untouched for the 14-yard scamper. It's a one-score game. Then with 24 seconds left, London on the keeper. The fake was so good, it even got our camera guy. And Green Canyon takes a 30-29 lead. Box Elder gets one final chance, trying to make something happen with the hook and lateral, but it doesn't work. Green Canyon survives 30-29.
Defending 3A champ Morgan was visiting 4A's Bear River. Morgan having some issues on special teams. Somehow the punter still able to get this one forward, but Garrison Marble comes in, snatches it up. He's got a lot of green. Returns it for 6. It was a 14-0 Bear River lead at the half. Down 20-0, Morgan tries a late rally. Jimmy Savage with the pick and the 6 cuts the Bear River's lead to 13, and then more defensive touchdowns. Levi Millward picks up the fumble, and he goes for the touchdown. They cut the Bears' lead to 6, but the rally runs out of time. Bear River holds on and moves to 2-0.
The Corner Canyon Chargers are now in the 8th year of the school's existence, and they've already built a dynasty. Seeking their 3rd state championship in a row, they entered our Game Night Live Game of the Week against number 11 Harriman with a 27-game win streak, longest in the state by far. Corner Canyon jumped on Harriman right from the start. First possession for the Chargers, 3rd and long, no problem. Jackson Dart to Noah Kerr. A 76-yard touchdown. Next possession, Dart to Kerr again. This time the Turf Monster trips him up. Austin Bell will punch it in from a yard out on the next play. It's 14-0. 5:43 left in the first quarter. Dart back in the pocket. This time he decides to run, and that was a good decision. A 24-yard touchdown. 21-0 Chargers. They were up 28-0 with 13 seconds left in the first quarter. When Dart finds Talmadge Handley, he turns on the Jets for an 84-yard score. 35-0 Corner Canyon after one. They were up 42-0 when Dart and Handley connect again for a 55-yard touchdown. That's 28 straight wins for Corner Canyon. That ties Rich from 1995 to 97 for the 4th longest win streak in state history. Alta made the long trip to St. George to face Desert Hills. This made the trip back a lot of fun, I'm sure. Tavita Mafaleo picks the ball right out of the air after the deflection. Did it all by himself for the goal line touchdown, a Game Night 5 nominee. Alta's throw game was on point. Ethan Jackson to DeAndre Randolph. A 50-yard score. Then with time running out in the first half, Jackson throws it up for grabs. Maika Kafusi has it for a touchdown. Alta wins big, 54-14.
All right, another thrilling finish was in Southern Utah. A minute left in the game, and Hurricane trailing Murray 14-7. Carter Ashby delivers a 30-yard strike to Jack Reeve. Hurricane would convert the 2-point conversion, and that would be the difference. The Tigers win 15-14. How about the Roy Royals hosting the Dixie Flyers? Cooper Valencia opens the scoring with the short touchdown run, making it 7-0 Roy. Dixie took less than 4 minutes to even the score, though. Here's Joshua Barney to Bronson Barbin, 18-yard touchdown. It was a tight game the whole way. Roy scored with just over a minute to go, and they would get the win 24-21.
Pleasant Grove playing their first home game of the year, hosting Maple Mountain, contender in 5A. Porter Connors was the early start for the Vikings offense. A 7-yard touchdown with a 7-0 lead after one quarter. Second quarter, Connors does it again. It must be the hair. A 4-yard run. PG was up 13-0. Later in the quarter, PG airs it out. Sam Levitt to his favorite target, 4-star receiver Darius Clemens. A 29-yard score for the 19-0 lead. PG cruising. It's a blowout, right? Well, not so fast. Time winding down. In the half, Tyler Nelson rolls out and goes deep to Kyson Hall. Caught at the 22, and 3 plays later, Nelson to the back corner, and Hall comes down with it. That cut the lead to 19-7 at the half. The Golden Eagles defense shut out PG the rest of the way thanks to big plays like this. Aiden Seuli with a red zone interception. Go to the fourth quarter. Nelson and Hall strike again. 22-yard touchdown pass makes it a 5-point game. Time winding down in the game. Golden Eagles running out of chances. Nelson going deep, hoping for a miracle, but it's picked off by Tyson Downs, and PG holds on at home for the 19-14 win.
Well, one of the most anticipated matchups of Week 2 was a Thursday night showdown between Timpview and American Fork. Timpview was looking for some redemption after disappointing showing in Week 1 against Lone Peak, while American Fork coming off a big blowout win over Lehigh. Let's get to the second quarter of this one. We all know American Fork quarterback Maddox Madsen, and we know he can throw, but how about the wheels? Juking a couple defenders and finds the end zone for the 7-0 Cavemen lead. He wasn't the only one running. How about Spike Adams? Doubles the lead, 14-0 AF. American Fork's defense pretty terrific, swarming the ball here, forcing turnovers. Gabe Shipley with the interception off that tipped pass. That sets up the Cavemen offense for more touchdowns. Madsen to Noah Moyaki, 21-0 in the second quarter. Timpview trying to get on the scoreboard before halftime, but Charlie Ho Ching comes flying in for the sack. Timpview would finally score in the second half, but by then it was far too little too late. Cavemen win 31-21. Well, how serious are schools taking the pandemic during football? Well, this game, it was actually delayed by American Fork's athletic director at the end of the first quarter. Why? Well, because the fans weren't social distancing and wearing their masks. He said until fans moved to their assigned seats, the game would not resume play. They were able to continue play after that short delay. Wear those masks.
5th-ranked Orem Tigers take care of business against the 6th-ranked East Leopards. Well, a slow start for Orem, 3-0 in the second quarter. But Micah Fea finds Silas Segode, and the big guy gives Orem a 10-0 lead. Third quarter, Fea working again, this time to Joe Smith for a 7-yard strike. And Orem's defense was terrific, led by Jaden Ayu, a big-time sack. Later in the third quarter, Fea caps off another drive with a touchdown to Noah Erickson. What a result here for Orem. They get the shutout over East, 24-0.
After the season opener was canceled due to a positive COVID-19 tests, the Bingham Miners able to kick the season off on Friday against Skyridge. In the first quarter, here come the Bingham pass rush. Braden Harward with the initial pressure, Ryan Wood to finish the sack off. But the Miners offense struggled in this one. Braden Cooper sacked, fumbles, Skyridge recovers. One of several turnovers in the game. And the Falcons take flight. McKay Hillstead hit as he throws, but it's still a perfect pass to Mitch Adamson for a 26-yard score, 7-0 Skyridge. Second quarter, still a one-score game. Check out the vision and mobility by Hillstead this time, finding open ground and going 20 yards, 14-0. Then after another Bingham fumble, Hillstead 14 yards to Jeter Fenton. It's 21-0. Bingham trying to get anything going. Instead, Colby Dule with the strip sack, another Skyridge takeaway. And that leads to another Hillstead touchdown pass. 28-0 lead. Hillstead totaled 5 touchdowns. Skyridge wins big, 35-7.
Hillstead is a star. Number 2, Lone Peak's home opener hosting Jordan. John Henry Daly. BYU wants this kid, picking up where he left off against Timpview, sacking quarterbacks. The Lone Peak offense had some big plays. Quarterback Luke Romney with some great footwork to keep the play alive. Weston Covey the touchdown. Covey made a remarkable catch. Later in the second quarter, that set up a 2-yard touchdown. Then just before halftime, Romney somehow evades the Jordan rush and throws up a Hail Mary right into the arms of Jake Lindsley for the touchdown. A 28-point second quarter for the Knights, and they win big, 52-3.
How about 2A football? San Juan making the trip all the way from Blanding to visit Summit Academy. In the third quarter, Jace Palmer scrambling. He's finally going to let it fly. 49 yards later, it's a touchdown to Ladd Ivans. It's tied at 21. From there, the Bears outscored the Broncos 28-7, including this Joe Garlick pass that finds Koa Sylvester for a 75-yard score. Summit Academy improving to 2-0, 49-28 win.
Our Game Night Live Game of the Week in Week 3, the Kearns Cougars will host the Olympic Titans, another top 20 matchup on the KSL TV app and KSLSports.com. It kicks off Friday at 7 p.m. So how did both those teams do in Week 2? I'll show you right now. Mountain Ridge on the road against the 13th-ranked Kearns Cougars. The Sentinels, after their upset of Olympus in the first week, going to the air. Hayden Helm hit as he throws. Picked by Jack Kelly. That led to a Cougars touchdown, and look who's catching the passes on the offense. It's Kelly from Josefa Toya Ivao. 70 yards. Kearns had a 3-touchdown lead at the half. Helm trying to keep Mountain Ridge in this one. Scores on the quarterback keeper. They were down 34-14. The Kearns offense was still in attack mode. Keandre Polanco. A stiff arm, a big gain down to the 15-yard line. And then Joe Alusa will cap the drive with a touchdown run. Kearns rolls to 2-0 with a 41-14 win.
Olympus lost last week to Mountain Ridge on the road against Hunter on Friday. In the first quarter, Johnny Frank from a yard out, giving the Titans a 9-0 lead. Hunter was keeping pace in this one. Justice Brusado to John Moyes down to the 1-yard line. That would set up a Hunter touchdown. Johnny Frank had 2 touchdown runs, though. That was the difference. Olympus gets the win 19-10.
Mountain Crest at Wasatch, second quarter. Wasp up 6. Celia Kana gonna scoop and score. It's 13-0. Wasatch. Let's go to the third quarter. Quarterback Adarius Edwards to Jaron Calum. The Wasps are off to a 2-0 start with a 20-6 win over Mountain Crest.
All right, west at Woods Cross. Luke Hyde to Luke Dastic. And the Wildcats get on the board first. But West has a pretty quick response. Carson Lopati to a wide-open Clarence Bird Butler for the 7-6 lead. But it was all West in the fourth quarter. Johnny Allo all the way to the 1-yard line. Look at him roll. West will score, and they beat the Wildcats on the road 27-15.
They're 2-0 now. They get a American Fork on Friday. That'll be a good one. All right, we're grateful to have high school football in the state of Utah when so many states around the nation don't have the privilege due to the pandemic.
Yeah, we want to share some of the joy of having football back with you, and we're going to do that with the latest version of the Game Night Live highlight reel.
Up next, the Game Night 5, our top 5 high school plays of the week. Who made the list? You'll find out next.
Well, after thumping Harriman in our Game Night Live Game of the Week Friday night, Corner Canyon stays in the top spot of our power rankings. Some notable moves from last week's power rankings. Kearns enters the top 10 at number 9. Bingham slides to 10, in danger of sliding out of the top 10. 5 of the 6 in Region 4, they're in the top 10 power rankings as well.
Well, it's time now for our new segment this season on Game Night Live called the Game Night 5.
Yeah, we recognize the top 5 plays of the week in Utah high school football.
And here is number 5. David Spute of the Davis Darts covering every inch of the field on a 73-yard punt return. Look how fast he is. Nah, just kidding. We sped that up.
He's very talented. Number 4, Kearns Jack Kelly, the one-handed interception. Nice vision, nice hands. Sticks with it.
Number 3, this is Austin Hallows of Salem Hills, selling out for the touchdown catch in a 27-10 Salem Hills win over 6A's Fremont.
Here's a good one at number 2. Alta's Tavita Mafelo picks the ball right out of the air near the goal line and scores the touchdown.
All right, here's our number 1, and let's watch this play.
Yeah, this is great.
This is Milford's Bo Hardy. He's fast too, apparently. Jeez. I want to see it again because watch the ball fake here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, he's got it. Whoa! Taking it to the house.
Love it.
Milford Tigers are good again. Can't wait for another week of high school football. Friday night, Game Night Live, and the Jazz Nuggets on Tuesday, Game 5.